We live in an interesting world where the world is filled with judgmentalism, and they can be quite harsh with mistakes. And people are terrified of stepping in the unknown. And I talk today about we have courage to take a risk. But it takes bravery to walk into a situation knowing what you're in for. And this coach program is like that. You know what you're in for. And I can be a very full-on facilitator. I can be just full-on. And I still feel I'm still learning. I'm really learning. And I don't think I'll ever stop learning. But what we bump into is our own incompletions. And we think we're traveling fine, and we go, oh, here's an incompletion about myself. And how do I work through that incompletion? And I facilitate, and I still have to do my work. And they're not separate. And I've fallen, and I've laid in the earth of humility, and I've breathed the dust of knowing what that's like. And in this coach program, you run into who you're not being in the world. And you know who you need to become. And people still choose to be who they're not. And I know that to really, when I talk in this language, some of you have not heard this before, but I sit in that curtain where I go, this is the trauma that I've experienced in my history. And these are the wounds. And also, in here are my conditioning. And my conditioning of all the rules that I should be. I should be a somebody. And you need to be a somebody. And if you're not a somebody, and they're on everyone else's rules. But what we need to know is, are we a somebody for ourselves? And I believe that authenticity is something that I grow into every week. I become more authentic every week. Years ago, I thought I was authentic till I realized that I'm getting more authentic every week. I grow. I keep growing. And I love being authentic because what that means is I'm actually returning to myself. And there's a home road to yourself to know exactly who you are, that you never have to run from yourself. We're always moving away from our conflicts, our internal conflict. We always move in the opposite direction of our internal conflicts. And we don't know how to be with those there. And the moment you're being with them, you can actually heal them. You can change them. Really, really change. There's a difference between, you can rearrange the furniture in the house, but it's the same furniture. And people get addicted to rearranging. But they're not actually creating what I call real change, a real paradigm shift. And sometimes that means that you take a risk in the unknown and really create massive change for yourself. Because when there's a part of us that knows that we're repeating the same pattern, going, I've been here before. Who's ever known that before? I'm doing the same pattern. That means that you actually haven't changed. You've just rearranged a few things, but you're still continuing the same pattern. And patterns run deep in us. Most of our patterns are set up by the time we're 9. 9 years old is our end point where we stop believing in the fantasies of Santa Claus and all those kind of things. And in that moment, our patterns are set up in that because we're so innocent. We believe everything. And we really believe. And a belief system is really simple when you understand. A belief system is something that you've made an emotional contract with. That you set yourself up with your perception that you perceive it, and you'll bring it into your world and you'll attain it. And then in that moment, you'll create a reality with that belief system that you get to experience those feelings, whether they're good or bad. And we are masters of that. And we are learning that at a greater level. And I think, we have the luxury of beautiful transformation.